Hi there, welcome to Football-Oranje, your home of Dutch football. Netherlands won Belgium 0 in the last Nations League game before the World Cup, the last game as we know it before the World Cup. What do we think of it? Let us know in the live comment section we've got going on right now. Or if you're watching after this has been live, let us know in the YouTube comments and we'll get back to you. Lots of comments are coming in already about the players that have played over this international break. We're sorry we couldn't get to you after the Poland game. There were reasons for that. We'll get into later. But I'm here today, Michael Statham, and also is Jeroen Thijssen, who is the head researcher for the Netherlands for Football-Manager, a game which is coming out pretty soon, isn't it, Jeroen?
Definitely. Hello, everybody, and thank you, Michael, for having me. I'm the Dutch researcher for Football-Manager, and FM is coming back for a new season.
We can't wait.
Date,
Can't wait to waste more hours on it.
yeah, it's always something to look forward to, I guess. Yeah, definitely. Well, I have to plug a little bit then. November 8th. 8 November is the release date for FM 23 on PC, on PlayStation 5, Xbox Game Pass, Apple, I think as well. I hope I'm not forgetting anything, but it's
Brilliant.
It's going to be pretty much anywhere.
Good,
Thanks.
good. Yeah, we've had you on a number of times over the past of Football-Oranje. I think those die-hard fans of what we do will know that. They recognise you, and you're here to talk about the Netherlands. And I thought it was satisfactory in the end. You know, some of the chances they created towards the end, but it was quite a boring and dull game. But I put a lot of that down to the fact that it's a glorified friendly. No one wants to get injured because of the busy schedule of games. The World Cup is just around the corner. And it just didn't surprise me. You know, they've had a couple of the key players, Dutch, but I'm still very happy with what Louis van Gaal is achieving with his squad. They really are punching slightly above their weight and getting great results. Van Gaal is undefeated, I believe, in 15 games now. Correct me if I'm wrong. And a lot of them have been wins. Lots of people putting in the comments as well. Please keep them coming in if you haven't put in a comment already about individual players. Players are happy with, players are not so happy with. But on the whole, there's a lot of reasons to be pleased, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. First half was shocking.
Nothing happened.
It was boring. I had to pour an extra cup of coffee at halftime. Like, how am I gonna sit through the second half? Well, okay, the second half was all right, but the first half, I mean, for Holland, everything was pretty much fine. I mean, yeah, you want to win, but 0-0 would have been okay. You top the group and you advance, so nothing to really worry about. I was kind of surprised that Belgium didn't really show more, but then the second half, Belgium definitely were on top of the game, and they played quite well. Big pressure on the Dutch defense. Belgium had a couple of chances. I think we were very fortunate to score the 1-0. Obviously, a very good header by Virgil van Dijk from the corner, but that was from out of nowhere. I mean, Belgium were dominating, and yeah, it did feel like there was going to be a goal. Definitely, but I was thinking, yeah, Belgium are going to score at some point, and yeah, they had a couple of opportunities, and then very late in the game, yeah, it was suddenly, gung ho. Belgium was still trying something, and Holland could have scored 2 or 3 goals. But yeah, we can definitely be happy. 1977 is the last time that Holland beat Belgium twice in 1 year. So I heard. So that's pretty good. But yeah, I mean, we beat Poland. Was fairly easy victory. This was a tough victory, but it's it's a good opponent to face, and yeah, you had some serious competition working towards the World Cup, and
yeah, which is really positive.
You're winning the game, so yeah, I think the mood and the confidence is high, and that's what you want. Yeah.
Before getting to the comments, we haven't really had too much chance to discuss the new goalkeeper for Netherlands on Football-Oranje lately. Remke Pasveer has been the goalkeeper the last couple of games, 2 clean sheets. He has had such an interesting career that only in his late 30s has he really hit this level he's at now, where you can say confidently he's a very good goalkeeper for Ajax and now to the Netherlands. He doesn't look like the goalkeeper he's been for most of his career. he just seems so assured, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Is it just
Yeah,
a simple case of the guys is just in terrific form and the goalkeeper is aged like fine wine? The only person I could compare it to is like a Brad Friedel, if people watch English football, where he too was very good as he got really close to 40.
yeah, but I think goalkeepers can stay on top a little bit longer. I mean,
Yeah,
Van der
for
Sar
sure.
played until his early 40s. Friedel, Kirali, the Hungarian goalkeeper, was in his jogging in his track pants. He played until he was 41 or 42, I think, as well
Yeah.
for the national team. But yeah, Bosphère has had a very interesting career. He's always been an okay goalkeeper, mid-table. Top half goalkeeper for Vitesse. He was okay there, but he was never like, oh yeah, Bosphère is a great goalkeeper. No, I don't believe anybody ever said that. Yeah, he was okay for a side that would just qualify for Europe. And then he went to Ajax, and okay, why is Ajax signing I don't know how old he was back then, 33 or 34-year-old goalkeeper, and everybody's saying, he's just a backup goalkeeper, and okay, he brings some experience, but okay, fine, whatever, he's not going to play. And he stepped
And he
in,
played for a
needed
whole
to step
season,
again,
didn't he?
and then he had to replace Onana, and he's done really well. He
Well,
had
yeah,
quite
Ajax are like better with him than without him. The goal
yeah
record with
yeah
him in goal is tremendous,
yeah.
which could be down for a few reasons, really. But he's been phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he has. Which makes me wonder what's going to happen. I'm still thinking that both or either Bijlo or Sillissen is going to be the first and the second goalkeeper.
Do you? Because for a long
But
time I thought it'd be Bilo, and
mhm,
now we've got Pasveer who's here. He's been banging on the door for the past year,
mhm,
owning his first couple of caps. That makes me
mhm.
think it'll be Pasveer now. And that
Yeah.
experience will be important. And it'll be a
Well, the
message
thing,
sent
yeah.
out towards Bilo, who's made mistake after mistake this season for Feyenoord.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, I think people are a little bit too harsh on Bijlo there. Yes, he made a couple of mistakes, but I think he's slowly turning it around, and there's also still plenty of time to go. So I'm pretty confident that Bijlo will at least be part of the squad.
Yeah,
But
I think so too.
Bosphère has shown in the game now against Belgium, he had a couple of good saves. There's quite an early one in the second half where he just tipped it wide, which was a great save. Yeah, he's in contention, definitely. He showed this against Poland and Belgium. So I think we can name the three goalkeepers: Bijlo, Sillissen, and Bosphère. But
Yeah.
I was convinced either Bijlo or Sillissen was going to start. But now Bosphère, there's some merit to his performance now, definitely.
Yeah, which is good. Let us know in the comments what you thought of Pasveer's performance over those past couple of games. Let's get some of the comments on then. AJ Nick said that Holland win again. All of you Dutch fans are smiling. Yes, I think we should be. Not too many complaints tonight. Jack Niller, who's been commenting for years, says Happer and Bergwijn worked hard up top. Pasveer looks like he's going to be number one at a soon-to-be 39 years young.
Young,
Too
yes.
right. We've got Martin saying Pasveer hasn't put a foot wrong since his debut on Friday, which is true. Everyone's had a lot to do, but when he has had to do something, he's looked good. John says, the more I watch Klaassen, the more I like coke miners. No love for Klaassen as usual on the Football-Oranje podcast. But he did okay. It wasn't terrible. LBNZ kid, no turncoat minus Frank de Jong or Memphis Depay, no problem. Dutch controlled the game and looked so comfortable and never in doubt. Lou van Gaal is amazing. And he said, more importantly, they're a team that is trending just in time for the World Cup. Yeah, agreed. People still don't really have them amongst their fancy teams, so I don't think. They won't be amongst the favourites, but they'll be just outside those favourite teams. And I think that's a good place to be right now, isn't it? John's got a couple of more comments. We would have scored more, but Belgium's old man centre backs are able to stick a foot in there a couple of times. True.
The goalkeeper is brilliant.
Why does Daley Blind play the full match again? It's absurd as he provides little. He cannot run. His total liability out there. Cannot play against pressure. Malassi is not a left-sided centre back. Let's talk about Blint because we've got a few other comments in. Look here, Blint is slow as molasses, but has extraordinary vision. Another one here. Daly's a great passer, but a defensive liability. It's been something we've had as a talking point on here for years. I too go hot and cold with Blintz because he has great vision. He's good on the ball, and from actually a wide area, it's not a bad place to have him unless he gets isolated one-on-one, then he's not so strong. But when you have a centre back behind you, it works better. And then I thought about putting him at centre back, but his height is a problem. So what do you do with him? Van Gaal is obsessed with playing him. Malacia didn't get a chance at left wing back tonight, which was a massive surprise, given Van Gaal's extraordinary reaction. You see that little video on Twitter where he scored the goal. Van Gaal was like, "Whoa!" It's brilliant. But then he played centre back tonight, with Malacia's never played unless you know of one time in his youth career where he did play centre back. What are your thoughts on Blint? Tell me.
The Malacia playing centre back was like, wow, what's going on? As Malacia was coming on, I'm like, okay. Myself and the commentator and anybody else was probably thinking, okay, Malacia on
Blint's
left,
going centre back.
Blint's going centre back. Yeah, okay, why not? For me, and also not just for me, but trying to understand Van Gaal, which is very difficult because he's a genius. Like him or not, and he's a very strange character at times, but he is a genius. But Daley Blind is 100% going to the World Cup. There's no doubt about it. He's one of the definite players. He'll probably play most or all of the games as well. I think what you said is pretty much spot on, and I thought he played okay today. Didn't do much wrong. He does lose one or two duels a game where I'm like, okay, he should have won that. But then again, you can't play perfect 90 minutes per game. But like you said, his vision, his passing, his offensive mindset is really, really good. So in this role and in this formation, in this tactic that Louis van Gaal now plays, Daley Blind is really good in the more attacking role. Defensively, he's not bad. He's not great. He's not bad, but he will be outpaced by the quicker players. I mean, although I do think we played France, and I think Blind played as well. Where you're thinking like, oh my goodness, Blind versus Mbappe, that's going to be an annihilation. But turned out that didn't go that wrong. But still, Blind against Mbappe or Neymar or someone really, really quick and strong and clever, that could be an issue. So you need to compensate that with a good left centre back, who would not be Malacia. This Malacia is like 5'7", small. Amazing, great, amazing heart. I really like Malacia as a football player, but definitely as a left back or a wing back. So you will need Ake or another stronger centre back to align with Daley Blind, especially when you're going back into defense.
That he's been playing. I think Ake's been playing left centre back because he's going to be starting at the World Cup maybe. And that's because of what he has. He's got a left peg. He could cover really well behind Blint. And he will work as a left-sided sort of defender. You can see why he's doing what he's doing. That Blint can play that position knowing he's got cover behind him. Van Gaal loves the phrase that when you get a 5-3-2 correct, it can be like you have an extra man all over the field. And in some ways, it's right. Defensively, in that situation, you got cover behind Blint, but also offensively, you've always got someone on the other side. You can see why he's doing what he's doing, Van Gaal. And there are some things which we'll never get, like Malacia coming on to play centre back tonight. But I'm sure he had his reasons. And at the moment, I won't doubt him because he's got a great record.
It didn't go wrong, so I think Van Gaal will just say something like, "Yeah, it's another genius thought by myself."
Kaut at wing back. Something similar is going to happen this time. Yeah. You can just see it. Let's bring up some more comments on the screen. We talked about Pasveer and Blint, but I'm sure there'll be many more comments to do with those guys. And Gabriel says it was a very steady performance tonight. Defense is very good. The midfield lacks penetration. A couple of key players missing, of course, midfield tonight. Michael's commented to say that you've got a very nice 1988 shirt on. Love it. Do you know, I'm not a big fan of the new shirt. Not that I despise it, but I just don't like it all that much.
Yeah.
It's a bit, yeah.
I don't actually mind the look that much. It's a bit what's the term for it? It's a bit in your face, but I don't
Yeah.
like the black
Black on the
part near
back.
the neck. Yeah,
Yeah, same.
and there are it's pretty much a standardized design for a few other national teams. And for example, Nigeria also has a similar style shirt, but okay,
That's the sponsoring going on, isn't it?
yeah, I haven't actually seen it on TV, but I saw it like being presented. I'm like, well, okay, that looks okay. For some reason, the white and green, I think, is maybe somehow it works better, but I don't really understand why there's a black strip around the neck. It doesn't really make sense.
No, I agree with you. We had another comment saying about midfield, not a good midfield with Klaassen and Delone, who are very limited technically. Scary playing out of the back and watching those two check back to the ball. It's both technically poor with a heavy touch. There's a few people that have commented a couple of times here. Try and get some different people up. Jamie says, I don't get Janssen being in the squad. It looks like there's been a situation designed to get him into the national team by Van Gaal. Yeah, it's been a really strange selection from Van Gaal, but he doesn't have many other strikers to choose from unless he goes for a young player who's not in form in Europe. I mean, what else do you do? But it's the kind of striker, the type of striker that he doesn't have many options for, and that's why Janssen's playing, I think.
Yeah. I was very surprised when Janssen got called up. I mean, he's done okay several years ago because before he got called up, he had 17 caps and 17 goals. And then now, but he didn't really do well in Mexico. He started out okay, but I think he came over where he had like 2 goals in the last 15 games or something like that. It's not a good goal scoring record. Now at Antwerp, he's actually
But yeah, as I say, there's a comment there. The lead in the Jupiler League in scoring.
He's doing well, but he does fit the style, and I think that is also what Louis was what he's looking for, maybe in a similar-ish fashion to Weghorst. But Vincent Janssen, he does work hard. He does get chances. I thought he was quite ineffective today against Belgium, but he was better against Poland, and he can hassle the defense. It just didn't work out, but he is running into the angles. He's a strong player, and yeah, he can be a threat.
Sure.
But obviously, normally Memphis Depay is going to be the starter, and Janssen is going to be
and I think
the backups.
So be it as well. I don't buy into the criticism that he's getting Memphis. He's just that
Memphis
good.
Is fantastic.
I don't want to drop him. Yeah. I was going to say, he says Hapo played well. He can be really scary. He needs to work on his clinical finishes, passes, and just be faster when to shoot. Yeah, and I've been so critical of Hapo, and I think he does deserve it. That in those bigger games, he just goes missing. But tonight, in that time that he was on the pitch, he was impressive. He stood out, and he was playing against some really good players. Yeah, he just needs to deliver it on those days where the team's so desperate for him. And that actually appears to be when he's like the only player that can actually unlock a really tricky defense. No wonder it's tricky for him. But when you're surrounded by quality players like you are when you play for the Netherlands, maybe that helps him. He can be better. There's not many people trying to mark him, kick him out of the game. And he's not shoved out wide, which is his best position usually. But in this system, playing as one of those front three players, that works for him because he can ghost around a lot more, can't he, and getting around.
Yeah, I like how there's a lot of movement.
There is, isn't there? It's very fluid.
Bergwijn is very, very, very fluid, and so is Gakpo. And at the part Memphis, maybe a little bit less so, but he's definitely up for the task. And there's just so much movement and so much rotation. Gakpo does have everything. He has great technique. He's fast. He has a great shot.
Yeah.
He reads the game. He can dribble. Did I say that? Well, but he can do it all. But he's inconsistent. However, he can score 3 goals against Volendam or against Go Ahead. Yeah, well, okay, nice. But however, he had a goal and 3 assists against Feyenoord. He scored against Poland, and I thought he played well today again. So hopefully, he's now taking that one step that he still needed to take.
And that brings into question from Rob saying about like who should be the number 10 in midfield. You've obviously Memphis and Berghaus with Bergwijn and Hatpo. Yeah, Hatpo should then be the 10. And
Yeah.
I did like him in that position. Klaassen started there, didn't he? He just offers a bit more hustle and bustle. I mean, there's forward areas can win the ball back high. But Hatpo will just offer more magic on the ball. Depends if they're playing. And Van Gaal is going to be so flexible and create a different system for whatever team he's playing. And that's why it's really hard to settle on upon like a best 11. There are some positions like Dumfries playing right wing back, Frankie Young in midfield that are going to change. But players like Hatpo, he might play 1 or 2 games in the entire World Cup, and he might be important in those games when he could be effective. Jamie, back to the past fear question, was saying that it's established itself as undisputed at 38, but it's not great long-term planning of Van Gaal. See, I actually disagree here, Jamie. You agree, but I actually disagree that this is fine. Well, we're coming to a World Cup. It's the pinnacle of being where you need to be. I don't think you need to stop playing like for the future.
Exactly.
During the World Cup.
I fully agree with that. I mean, I don't like the fact that there's a 38-year-old goalkeeper making his debut. I think that's in a way rubbish, but he's doing well. And there's only one goal, and that is, well, I would say winning the World Cup was very ambitious, but you want to go as far as you possibly can. You're not going to pick a 16-year-old. You're not going to pick Xavi Simons. I love the kid. I want him to play for the Dutch national team, but you're not going to specifically pick him. He's bloody talented. Let's put him in because it's a World Cup and we have to use some youth players. No, Van Gaal doesn't care. Van Gaal wants to pick the best team. He's going to do the World Cup. Then he's going to retire, and then the new manager can say, "Oh, you know what, Pasveer, yeah, good job, but I'm not picking you anymore."
Yeah, that seems fair. And
it's not long-term planning, but there is no long-term at the moment. It's World Cup, and then you can move forward.
Exactly that. Rastam says Silisson will have to settle for being third choice. I'm surprised Van Gaal even picked him for the squad after hearing I didn't listen to the coaches during the World Cup. Things can change, and he went to NEC Nijmegen to play, perhaps with this idea of being selected for the World Cup, and he's been fantastic at NEC. Let's see his comment about Xavi Simons since we just talked about him. It might be too soon for the World Cup. Yes, I agree. It is a bit too soon, isn't it? Dave. Okay, here we go again with a Memphis in attacking midfield. I haven't seen it done yet, so I shouldn't say much, but I don't think I'd be doing it. I agree Memphis at centre attacking midfield. Hatpo and Bergwijn up front. And as for Blintz, mediocre support at best in attack and defence mediocre at best. No idea how he keeps his jerseys at club and national level. Interesting. Michael's asked, would De Ligt and De Vrij be better than Ake and Timber? I wasn't buying Ake, but I really like Timber in there. What do you think?
Timber is doing so well. I mean, it's a really it's really interesting. So you have Virgil van Dijk, who seems to be the 100% definite choice, and then you can say De Ligt, De Vrij, Ake, and Timber. They can all play. So you have 5 options for the 3 spots, and all 5 are actually good. And you even have Wrench as a backup. He was going to be a backup, but if you put Wrench in there, you're not going to cry either. But Timber has been amazing. I'm a huge De Ligt fan. I think he's amazing. Although he's struggling a little bit at Bayern right now, but
I think he struggled the past year.
Yeah, he struggled a little bit. I think at Juventus as well. But he's had some great games and he has a few struggling games. So I could not see De Ligt being replaced maybe ever like 2 seasons ago. And now I'm seeing Timber play, and there's also De Vrij. And De Vrij there's nothing wrong with De Vrij either. I think Ake is, all things considered, maybe the least of the 4 or 5, but he's a left-footed left centre back, which is also interesting. That is his advantage, and he's also strong. He can head the ball. Although actually, De Ligt is also a player that has good heading skills, and so does De Vrij. Maybe not Timber, but Timber is very agile. He's a good passer,
and he's good on the ball, isn't he? And when you're playing in a back 5, you don't need to have 3 players that can I don't know, head a ball away against a 6'6" striker.
Mhm.
Timber doesn't have to do that job in that back five, and
And
that's why I like him there.
Timber's got pace. He can play, and he can play right back as well if needed.
Yeah, he's got so much to his game.
So Dumfries can move forward, and then Timber is very comfortable and capable to fill in the right back spot.
Yeah, he is. And there's a few, again, loads of more comments coming. Thank you for everybody for your comments that have come in live. But also, if you're not watching live, please do leave a comment. Let us know what you thought about the game. It's great to get everyone's thoughts in. But I will put a couple on screen of people that haven't yet had those on screen. That one was from Hamza mentioning this thing about left centre back. I mean, last year was experimented there so that Van Gaal wants a left-footed player there, similar to Martins Indy, who, yes, 2014, but also Martins Indy was originally called up to be that left-sided. So, Ake is probably going to be first choice, isn't he? Then Martins Indy. Malacia, maybe there is a third choice at the moment. But I do hope Malacia, it gets another thought as a left wing back. But it looks like Blint's going to be the first choice. And FBJ says, it's good pro performance, not entertaining but effective. I'm most impressed on our high press and team structure once we lose the ball. Just worried about the final third and finishing. I'm not too worried about that. There weren't too many opportunities tonight, but they were very close to getting a second and third goal, despite creating very little. So
yeah, my only concern was the midfield. I thought Klaassen, but also Berghuis was very poor.
After being so good against Poland, I believe.
Yeah, he was definitely not bad against Poland, but he had a more offensive role. I saw him bottle a couple of moments, definitely in defense. It was like almost playing like a six, like two controlling midfielders with Jeroen and Berghuis, and that's not really Berghuis' style. But I mean, Berghuis, Jeroen, and Klaassen are probably all three going to be backups. Although maybe one of them will play, but normally you're going to play Frankie and Koopmeiners in the midfield, and then either Berghuis or Klaassen or maybe Gakpo will play as a 10.
Yeah, see if it's Koopmeiners and De Jong, I quite like Gakpo there because he can have a bit more license to roam, and he's just so talented. So at the moment, I think he has to go there, doesn't he? But it's a system with wingers. If it needs to be a 4-3-3, you probably are going to play Gakpo. A couple of others as well that haven't been given a look in yet. Maybe Berghuis gets in the right wing. There's lots of options, and Van Gaal he's thinking about it lots, isn't he? Mm-hmm. But I think we do need to finish a podcast for this evening. So thank you very much for joining me. And it's always good to chat about the Netherlands, isn't it? It's great to have you on. And thanks everybody again for your comments. Yeah, and please do leave a like if you haven't yet already, and subscribe if you haven't to Football-Oranje. Help us grow some more, especially as we run up to the World Cup. It'd be great to get 3,000 subscribers on here if we could get those by the end of the World Cup. But also the website too. We've got lots of content over there. We're not just about our videos here. There's loads of things up on the site. And Mike, I'm sure we're doing some player ratings at some point soon for this game. He's been away in America at the moment, and I've been away with work. I always haven't been too well, which is why there wasn't a live stream after the Poland game. Our first one I think we've missed in like years for a live stream after a game. So thanks for being patient with us. We haven't gone anywhere, but we're back tonight, and there'll be some more content coming up, Eredivisie related, Dutch club related in Europe, and also lots ahead of the World Cup. So keep your eyes out for all those sort of podcasts we'll be doing. Our next podcast is going to be podcast 100. We're trying to think of something special for it as well. So stay tuned on YouTube, but also on the website and our Twitter for much more coming up. Thanks everyone for watching, and leave a comment down below if you haven't yet already.